Welcome to our May 4th, 2014 spiritual service. Ah, why do we come to a spiritual service anyway? How is it different from a workshop? We know we're going to have to share. We know we're going to have to look inside. We know we're going to have to think. We know we're going to have to be honest. That's the same as if we were in consciousness boot camp or we're going to be surrounded by friends. That's the same too. But what distinguishes a spiritual service from consciousness boot camp or from the women's retreat that we had yesterday, which was a wonderful experience? And I think that we come to a spiritual service because in
Your audio just went down.
Well, yeah, you'll have to keep telling us
I'm
because
gonna mute us or something. When everyone clapped, then your audio went down. So
because it looks good on our side, but we're not on the
yeah.
regular computer. I just hit the wall this morning, and I couldn't get out of bed, and so there it was. So we're making do with a laptop, and this is James' new laptop, and we're hoping that it works. And just give us the signal
Yeah.
if it gets too low.
Okay. And what will that be? You want me to just?
No, it's just raise your hand.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Otherwise, that looks like A-OK. This way. So, what distinguishes a spiritual service, at least in our minds, is that when we go to a workshop or we do any of the other things we do, we know we're there to work and to do what we can to transform. We come to a spiritual service, there's a hope that we're going to get a big boost of divine energy. It's not a substitute for us doing our own work, but it's a help. And I think that today, where we are into a new era of our work together and our lives together in our community, because this is our first spiritual service from our new home. And since the Stream Haven has been sold, that it's time for us to reach for a new level at our spiritual service as well. A level of connecting to divine energy and embodying it for the highest good of all, including and perhaps especially ourselves. And so this is what I would like to dedicate our spiritual service to today, is reaching a new level in our ability to connect to the divine energy. Rose led us through a life force where we connected to the divine energy through the earth. And now we're opening ourselves up to the many other ways in which we can connect to that energy and get the support that we need in order to live with reality in a state of grace. whatever is the optimal state of grace we are capable of at any given time. And I would like to invite each one of you, as you feel guided, to come before the group and bring through your piece of connecting to that divine energy, so that in our service today, we not only anchor that energy on the earth to support everyone, but also to raise ourselves. So as soon as you feel called, come before us. You may say something, a prayer, a poem, a statement. You may do a movement. You may make a sound. You may just work with pure energy. You may just laugh. You may have no idea what you're going to do. But as you feel called, come before us and share whatever comes through you to connect us to the divine today. And I'm beginning. And your job here is simply to connect to the energy as it flows through and let it take you away, not away from yourself, but away from the domination of ego and the needless pain and constrictions. And feel yourselves relaxing deeply. And see yourselves in the forest with us, with the rain falling from the heavens onto the verdant earth. That deep green of the forest that nurtures our souls. And feel yourself going into a kind of slumber, which is different from our normal sleep, but where we are restored and regenerated to the core. Still, peaceful, like a bear in hibernation. So deep, nothing else exists. Where the chi regenerates us as we rest from our weary labors. And the forest sleeps. And now the next person will carry forward from here. And what I hear is a sound. And the next person then will emit a sound or a chant or a song. And you don't have to get out of your chair if you don't need to, except to be heard.
I'm going to speak of moving. Many of us have been moving physically into different locations, and that was the inspiration, but we are all moving. It's 6 words. Hope. Dust. Aching back. Memories. Confusion. Hope.
Feel the edges of the material dissolve. Feel yourself melting into a sea of energy. And all that field energy that includes everything. There are no separateness. But you feel the heartbeat, the pulse of all the living things. And the whole field is dazzled with the light of all the consciousness of all living things. It's fall on Grandma's farm. The weather's
I would like to invite everybody to either say or think to everyone in the group, including those on the screen, the words, "We are one," and to really feel that oneness with one another as a group. We are one.
imagine some universal energy contributing that sound for our service.
Right up, we can't hear you.
A universal energy contributing that sound to our service as Bob was moving his hands. Lee? Lee, I didn't hear anything from you.
Looks like he's having technical difficulties.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? I was offline for a moment. Okay.
There we go. All right, go ahead and talk. Lee, you are on your iPad and your phone at the same.
Oh, okay. Was that the problem?
Yeah, can't be on both at the same time unless you mute one of them. And if you, I couldn't. Anyway, we're good.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to give a silent blessing to everyone on the call and everyone on the planet. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering.
Why do we come? Because we are called. And we hear the call. And this is how we choose to respond. Yes.
Chuck.
Yeah, that's right.
So. I'm gonna hurt my leg.
Oh, there he comes.
May we all be peaceful.
We have heard very little in the last few minutes, but we believe that everyone has participated. Is that correct?
No, Bob hasn't.
I don't think Bob has.
No.
Oh, I thought that Bob had done something with his hand. Bob?
Might be on mute. Hold on.
Hold on, Bob.
Okay, here we go. You're off mute.
Okay, I think I'm representing how to engage with pain. And so I just want to take in the beneficial energies that are meant for all of us. And have people receive those benefits. And the people of the world to receive those benefits. Even if they have pain. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I do have something that.
Hey, Rose.
You're kind of out of the picture, Rose.
That's okay.
No, I can see her.
Okay.
Hear, feel, and transmute love on the self.
lot of noise in the line, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now it's time for us to awaken from our slumber. We have gone deep to regenerate, to be nurtured, to surrender. Fatigue has its divine component. It can force us to stop what we're doing and the drive behind it. And force us to go deeper than the cup of coffee or the piece of candy or the raucous music or whatever it is that we humanity use to keep ourselves going when we need to sleep and to regenerate. But that moment of repose is followed by the awakening. Some of us wish to awaken without ever sleeping. Can you identify? And some of us wish to sleep and never awaken. Can you identify?
Yes.
No.
Now let's take a breath. As we bring ourselves back, carrying with us and look around this blessed house where our service is today and see the forest above our heads, the wooden ceiling made from the trees, and the brick that comes from the earth. And be aware of the beautiful trees outside the windows and the green marble. It also reminds us of the forest. I don't think the Bentons have changed any of that yet. And feel ourselves together now in the cabin in the woods. Where we make plans, having come from our slumber. And we ask only that our plans be guided by the divine consciousness, so that we can truly be agents of that consciousness. And be like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs without Snow White. Just a bunch of dwarves working together to fulfill the divine plan in whatever way we have been guided. I would like to bring your attention to the last Was it the last Inside Out was Carl Kalaman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you have not heard that podcast, please do. You might enjoy it, Lee, with your scientific background. Because that radio program was really talking about being guided by the divine mind, and it blended and combined the perspective that we bring from the intuitive perception with the perception that Carl brought from his historical perspective. And it was a great synergy, and I believe could be very useful to introduce some of our more radical ideas around spirituality to others. So please feel free, listen, share it, pass it on. And let us take this time, our May service, where we are reaching deep into ourselves, to one another, and out to the universe, to feel more connected with the divine mind. What Carl calls the global mind, what we call the highest level of integration of all consciousness, or God. So that we can begin to really relax into the process of living. No longer looking for signs signs that we are on the right track.
That we are what?
On the right track. Looking for signs of ease and comfort to be the indicators to us that we are on the right track.
Really?
Know that we have come to a place of spiritual maturity, that we are no longer looking to God to give us candy in the forest. And know that we will feel our connection to the universe itself, that connection. My audio keeps falling no matter what I do.
Turning it down and putting it on DB booth, so just let me deal with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell me when I should continue.
Go ahead.
Ask her to repeat what you said.
Can you
That
repeat what
we
you said?
yes. That we are finally ready to go beyond a stage of spiritual immaturity where we were looking for candy from God in the forest, looking for benefits, looking for ease, to be a sign that we are connected to the divine, and that we're coming to this time of spiritual maturity where we can feel the connection to the divine, and we don't have to look for signs of it. And that's what we did today. We focused on feeling that connection itself with no external obvious various manifestations. And when we are able to do that, we can truly begin to relax into the process of living, because we feel a certain calm and peace that comes along with that connection, despite whatever harrowing experiences we may have to face. And let us collectively feel that coming into our hearts, that knowledge, that knowing that we are that connected. And it's not something we do, it's something we have. And we have it not only because it's our birthright as human beings, but we have it because of all the work we have already done. To overcome the fears and the opinions and the beliefs that get in the way of the true connection to the divine, because we're looking for something else. We're not seeing the flower at our feet. Because we're staring out for a field that doesn't exist. And if today we are able to commit on a deeper level to experiencing that divine presence in our lives and in ourselves, because it's a connection, then we will be deeply benefited. It's like when we stop looking to other people for what they can do for us and open ourselves to embracing the connection that we have and the synergy that brings to strengthen us, heal us, nurture us. So let us take this moment to think about the people in this room, in our lives, in our world, and feel our connection with all. And feel the synergy, the vibration, and how that fills us and nurtures us. As we let go of our expectations of what that synergy is going to look like and how it should be. And let's do the same now with God. There's no more proofs. There's no more demonstrations. There's no more manifestation. There is only connection. And what that connection brings to us automatically, with no effort and no intention. Yes.
Yes.
And in the few moments that we have left, if you feel called to share something that relates to what we did today, please do.
I'd like to share something that relates to what you've just been sharing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Am I coming through?
Yeah.
This process today has been extremely valuable for me to reconnect with the calm connection with the divine, with the source, because I've been feeling very separated from that ever since I discovered that I had this detached retina. I'm going to have surgery, that I am somewhat limited, somewhat disabled, and my ego seized upon that, hijacked it to basically take an attitude of entitlement to be to have it my turn, to have what I want, to you know. And here I was putting a burden on Beth to be my caretaker. That was a joke. She's still disabled. Just because I am more disabled now than I usually am doesn't mean she's not still disabled. And my ego can demand, oh, it's my turn to have it my way. You help me in the physical ways, etc. So that's been a fascinating process now to see. Fascinating, because I really went on a tangent there with the ego. Ego and I went frolicking over the horizon. Now we're back under the auspices of being guided, being bridled, as it were, by higher consciousness. And so it feels very liberating, and I feel so much more kinship with everybody instead of being in that separated space. I mean, it's so easy to use illness, sickness, a trauma, say, oh, poor me, and then to go into separation. I'm victim. I'm separate. I'm in need, etc. But rather to just have that calm sense that that's not an excuse to bail on higher consciousness. So I let my ego hijack me ever since we met with the doctor Friday afternoon, and I'm back. Thank God I'm back. And this process today has helped me to feel more of a connectedness with my deeper, authentic self, and with all of you, because we are one. We are. It's interesting, as Beth was sharing, I was thinking of us as pilgrims on the path, but it's not that we're on a path of seeking, we're on a path that we're already connected. And then when she added God, then I had an image of God walking on the path with us. All of us, including God, are pilgrims on this path. Trial and error, bumbling along, evolution happens somehow. If we can just try to allow ourselves to be guided and connected with our authentic natures, which we all have in common. We are one. We are one.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank God.
You do have one eye that works, right?
He does, but he's not allowed to lift or bend. He can't lift more than 20 pounds, but that doesn't include the few pieces of laundry.
That's right.
And then on Thursday, he's going down for 3 weeks where he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I may have to keep my head down 80% of every day, for the eye to recover the way it needs to. So that's pretty bizarre, but it's a humbling experience.
I know that I need to go get Aiden soon, so I thought I would make some announcements now. I thought I would go, Todd, since you seem to be very active on AV today compared to normal days. So, but the announcements relate to what we've been talking about, because one of the things I wanted to announce was the Inside Out radio show, and I listened to the program with Carl Kalaman. And it is interesting, like how he approaches, his work from a scientific perspective. it's very in sync with how we've done it from spiritual and mystical perspective. And he talks about how the global mind has gone through different stages, and that is reflected in the civilization, which is fascinating. But basically what he's saying is that consciousness has been evolving, just as we have been. And one of the things he said is that in 2011, something happened. Something happened basically where there's an opening that's never been here before. Like something is now possible that has never been possible before. And that's the year, at the very beginning of the year, where we had the Day with the Masters, where they came to us. And I think they basically were saying the same thing. Like, you know, the magic show is about to begin. So here's Carl Kahneman seeing a scientific thing, whatever he's looking into. And here's, you know, Beth downloading this consciousness, but it's the same message. So it's a great, great show. Encourage you to listen to that. There are some other things that we have. Beth recorded a video that's on the Life Connection. It's about play and bringing play into every area and aspect of our lives. And we saw yesterday at our women's group how that can result in self-expression and creativity, and it really can be everywhere. And that was one of my favorite parts of the retreat, was Elizabeth dancing. People have to, I'm serious, I know I slept through half of it, but for the part I was awake for, I think that was my favorite. This is something that, this is part of Inside Out TV, and basically I talked to the editor of the Life Connection. He wants to continue to run these videos. So basically this means we're syndicated. We're not even like really totally up and running yet, but we're syndicated on the Life Connection. So
it's uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
It's in the newsletter, which looks
great newsletter. Yeah, thank you. It's in the newsletter, so you can click into all of these things. Inside Out TV, Inside Out Radio. I mean, that's what we're doing. We finished the movie. Pack boxes. You know, our dharma to our sacred trust to learn, and we don't really need about those examples anymore. The demonstrations, like we've all run into people. Oh, totally get what you're saying. There are. We've already had many demonstrations that the collective is evolving and changing. Yeah. We'll get to experience it again as we do Mary Magdalene also June and bring the work and consciousness out into collective. Are there other events that I haven't? We have the men's retreat coming up on self-expression, and the women can attest to the women's retreat on the topic was amazing and surprising in terms of how we now understand creativity and self-expression. And I think that's it as far as events. Oh, it's one. When is it? It's not scheduled. Oh. Okay. 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 Oh, got it. Yeah. Yes, for a whole new pitch. Awesome. Okay. And
I don't think that people out there would have heard that because you can hear Rose. So.
Oh, okay. Rose was saying, you know, in the ethers is intuitive counseling, hypnotherapy training 1. So this is a new group of students, basically. So it hasn't been scheduled, it hasn't been located, but that it's, you know, that's out there. So if people feel an interest in it, to express that, to put yourself in it. And then the final thing is, you know, I really realized this past week as Rose and I went over the budget, that this entire organization, everything that happens, including paying for everything, is based on donation. If funds aren't there, the funds aren't there. So, you know, I used to think, oh yeah, based, you know, somebody made. Yeah. Sure. But, you know, but just but just to remember that, to check in and be conscious of our taking our place there as well. Okay, thanks.
Maybe I should mention that we're having a meeting this afternoon with somebody from Voice America Radio, the internet, voiceamerica.com. And Jeff, the owner, asked him, he does social media and promotion and all of that. He's new there. He was there years ago and then he came back. And Jeff asked him to help us, help Inside Out somehow, get the Cadillac treatment. And so we're meeting with him in theory at 2 o'clock today. We have no idea what will come from that. But, that's a hopeful sign. And I believe the mega site is going back to the marketing company soon.
No, they're sending me the files, and I'm going to put it on our server, and then we'll get it.
They're sending us the files. Todd will put it on our server, and he'll get it up. But ball is in their court right now.
Oh, okay. So it's back to them now.
Yes.
Okay, so we're progressing, and if the files are in with us, then it will be very easy for us to change Inside Out to Inside Out TV and radio.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we did the video that we just did on Play is the first one that we're officially calling Inside Out TV, and I didn't expect it, but it came out of my mouth, so then we were committed. So it's coming together at the same time as the mega site.
Yep.
We can call it divine delay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I would like to compliment Christine for the excellent job she is doing as our executive director.
Yay.
Yes. Thank you.
And all of you for the incredible contributions you make to my life, our lives, the stream every day. Todd, I just want you to have the information that from here, the sound and the video were very, 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 very bad today in terms of us not being able to hear very much, people, not being able to see very well. I don't know if it's our setup or it's yours. We had a great time over at Bob and Carol's yesterday. They must have had cable. And we hardly had any technical problems at all that I was aware of. So it may just be that our internet connections are still difficult, but it may have been on our side today. I don't know.
I don't know either. I noticed that. I mean, it was working pretty well. What I finally figured out is to use James's laptop has the DB. So if I keep it about halfway, the volume recording, so we could hear you, but it was choppy towards the end, and I don't know why. It seems like
It was very delayed.
yeah. I mean, it's partly our internet. That may be our router. It's got 2 bars right now, so it's been going between 2 and 4. But
Yeah. Well, what about you, Bob and Carol? I mean, for us, I missed almost everything that people said at the end. And the video wasn't very good. Did you, Bob and Carol, did you have problems too, or was it just on our end?
I think it was just on your end because we had no problems at all.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I should say yesterday, Beth, whenever you said you couldn't hear someone, I heard them just fine. During the women's retreat,
Okay.
you would say, like, can someone repeat that? Or I can't hear that. Can you turn the volume up? And I had no problem hearing them the time that you couldn't hear them.
Well, that one time was because my speaker turned itself off. Well, yes,
It wasn't the
very
it wasn't the
today,
speaker time.
a lot. Oh, it was another time? Okay.
Oh, it was
Well,
many times you'd be like, oh, can you turn it up a little, or can you get closer or something? It was hard to hear, and I had no trouble hearing it the first time.
okay. Thank you. And I'm glad to hear that from Bob and Carol, that they had no trouble at all, because at least it's just us. Not that that's good, but
Fix it. Yeah, we are.
We'll have to be looking into this matter.
we are going to. We're on Wi-Fi now too, because I'm in bed. We could have
We
actually
could have
connected
actually
to the
put the
bridge.
yes.
Yeah, but the bridge isn't now. Okay, it looks like Elizabeth has appeared.
Yeah. I just wanted to share some experience from yesterday as far as the expanded understanding I have about creativity and the limitations that I've had from my experiences growing up and how that was affecting me and impacting me, and I didn't realize that. And when I went in, before I went into the workshop for the past few days, I've been in just a negative space, more than usual. And after I got through my piece, the piece that Beth helped me out with, that Christine was talking about, Whistle While You Work from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it just like lifted, and I've been feeling so much better. And then this morning, it's just like building on top of that, and I'm just like, this is great, because I've been so wanting to feel better for such a long time that it's just good to be here.
Right. Okay. Let me just move this closer until we reach it. So we need to know.
We're connecting to a power over Ethernet bridge to see if it's the white. Oops.
Well, they're calling it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Do
It
this,
fell out.
do this. All right, this one.
Okay. Now we're on the power over Ethernet. Do I sound different?
Yes.
You sound good.
Yes? Oh, well, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, you're much better here.
Much better.
All right. So we know that part of it is the bridge, and part of it is our Ethernet. Is our internet connection, which is not what it's supposed to be. But I don't want to have to go and sit in a shed. So, our internet is on.
The picture delay isn't as delayed. You were like a minute delayed beforehand.
Wow.
We're hearing her better.
Yeah, we're hearing you better. So this is, well, for us, we still have a delay. We have been having problems even using these power over Ethernet connections, but the Wi-Fi was the worst. So that's very good to know that our worst is the Wi-Fi, which we could really have not done. But also our internet is going up and down, like it went down to 1 instead of 5. And we're not sure where the problem is. So we're working on it.
Good.
Well, I'm so glad the problem is us.
Well, the problem is partly us too. I think part of it is when you have wireless internet, it's just not consistent. It fluctuates a lot, because I've done speed tests. It's gone all the way from like 20 Mbps down to like 3. So there's a wide variance, and it kind of fluctuates. So there's not like a constant like it is with when you're using a wire. So that's what I've seen so far. But that may be partly our router. So he's giving me some things to do with our router. So it might improve over here, which might help you. So I'm going to be looking into that today.
Oh, you're using wireless to broadcast?
Oh, yeah.
Todd, you might want to try these bridges. You know what they are.
I have them. I have one. But I'm talking about our router itself. It's not. We have a strong enough connection from here. I'm sorry. I've got to go get it.
Anyway, well, thank you for all that information. Does anyone have anything else to share?
Beth, I just want to thank you for yesterday's group. It was fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Let's get those men at this workshop.
Yes. Yeah.
And Annie, if you could send me some notes from the stuff that we did, that could help. So I won't have to make it all up all over again.
Sure, I'll send you what I have.
Great. Well, the people were great. It was a wonderful workshop, and you could really feel the difference in people as how much the group has matured.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anyone else?
Okay, Rosie.
Oh, I just wanted to reinforce that. It felt like the energy of everyone was present, like you weren't dragging us somewhere, but that we were all fully present to be there, to be transformed, loving ourselves as we were and as we wanted to fully become more. And that was a very exciting thing to experience.
And I'd like to invite Lee to join us either at the men's retreat or in CBC next week. Lee, you said you were going to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
still
can't
thinking.
hide out there. You're still thinking. You know, you could think and think and think, and the world could come to a close. And you say, you know, isn't that an old expression? Lee was thinking while Rome burned. In addition to that, Lee, we are going to be we're going to be launching the 2014-15 CBC year in Oregon, and you are no further from Oregon than anybody else. So you might consider joining us. Those of us who are going to make the trek, the rest, of course, will be doing it via OmniJoin. It's our CBC in September of 2014. It's going to be live from Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Chuck had something to say. Okay. Well, I think we're ready for a close. You know, Amy, do you have a song for us?
Sure.
You do? Either or sing. I just got you. I don't know what it is. Do you have anything?
What is it that you have?
Yes. What do you have for us? Yeah.
I wanted, Amy, were you playing the piano the whole time in the morning?
Yes, she was.
Well, it was lovely, and I wanted to tell you something. Now, of course, we can hear very well naturally, but I was listening to it, and I said, "Is that the piano, or is that a harp? Is that a piano or a harp?" You play the piano as though it were a harp, and when I saw you sitting there playing the piano, it all made sense.
Well, I'm playing the harp pieces that I normally play on the harp. I was playing them on the piano.
Yeah, it sounded like a harp. It was lovely.
Thank you.
Well, is it a piano piece to take us out, or do you have
No,
some?
I don't have piano pieces. Do the same thing? Yeah, I could play the same song that I wrote for my mom. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to move the speaker closer to the piano. Maybe you guys can hear better. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing whole sentences some of the time.
Okay. So this is for my mom, and it's called Ellen, and you'll hear that right away.
Wow. Amy,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Amy, we're lucky to have you.
Yeah. Well, I was playing it on the soft pedal most of the time because I thought it would be too harsh. And then I thought, why am I playing it on the soft pedal? So it got louder at the end. That was how come.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Sounded like a beautiful spring day. And what a perfect way to end our service today. So, Beth, would you like to lead us in a final close?
Yeah. See most of you next week.
Okay.
All right. No. Not 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. That's right.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Third weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Give us a break next weekend when you're laid low. All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.